So, I heard you're looking for a go-to source for entertainment.
Wait for it.
Gaming?
Wait for it.
Anime?
Plus Ultra!
Mr. Eric Almighty and Phil the Filipino? Yeah, they've got you covered. And all you gotta do is... wait for it. This is the Wait For It podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Wait For It podcast. I am your co-host, Phil Smith, aka Phil the Filipino. And joining me as always is your other co-host, Mr. Eric Almighty. And Eric, we are here with what is easily our favorite series here on the podcast, the Creator Spotlight. And not only because we get to highlight different content creators from all walks of life, but also selfishly because we get to hang out with some friends. And today we have a very old friend that we haven't gotten to hang out with in a while, and that's one of the great things about this podcasting space is even if we're not in the same place physically, we can get together in a podcast lobby, shoot the shit, and hang out. Eric, this guest is somebody that goes back, like, this is an OG podcast movement buddy. Like, we shared chicken tenders at what's it called, at Disney Springs. what was that restaurant we went to? It was what was the famous chef?
Was it the Guy Fieri one?
Yes, the Guy Fieri restaurant. Yeah. So that's who we're bringing in today. I'm very excited to have him back after a very prolonged absence. So it's much overdue that we get to hang out with him today.
Yeah, I mean the theme of the podcast, especially with the What Did I Miss series,
is Guy Fieri.
Well, it's not Guy Fieri.
Oh, okay.
We're bringing back a lot of people that have been on the podcast before, and this is very long overdue. So, Phil, I mean, you've kind of expressed it just to add on to that. Super excited to finally get to catch back up. This guest is not only a fellow content creator, but also a fan of the show, who's really given us our flowers. Thought we left him in the dust, but no, we never forgot you. So, with that being said, you've got your favorite streamer, a great podcast host, and gaming extraordinaire, Gafiltha. How are you doing, and are you excited to finally catch up after literally, I think, about 4 years since we last recorded together?
Woo, yeah, it's been, what an introduction, man. Thank you. I'm humbled. Woo, what an expert there, man. Yeah, it's been a long time. And what was it? It was Planet Hollywood or something? I think it was Planet Hollywood.
I think it was Planet Hollywood.
Yeah,
It was like the Guy Fieri
burger.
Remember
thing.
It came on a big carousel or something like that. It was
we're like, we're in Orlando. Let's go over the top. Right now, good old Podfest. Yeah, and when I think about it, I was like, man, we go back to even being in Buzzsprout, like at the Buzzsprout headquarters. I was like, it's just OGs. I got y'all's OG shirt, the Wait For It podcast, the blue on yellow. It was beautiful. Oh man.
You don't have to lie. That design was like, okay. You don't have to.
No. It was, hey, listen, even listening back to that episode, so different, all of us, but definitely me and Phil. So like, I listening back to it, Phil, I wanted to shoot myself in the head because it was rough. That was still like pre-official. That was like we're figuring out how to do podcasting still. So Gafiltha, I hope you're getting us at our prime, and we hope to really, really show out for you on this episode.
Oh yeah. Especially, I mean, knowing what I've listened to you guys back then to what I'm listening now, I'm like, wow, are these the same guys? I'm just like, they're just so on it. And the posts you guys make, the little, video clips that go on, you just grab me. You're like, oh, hey, let's the 10 seconds that you just hooked me on. I'm like, damn it, now I got to listen to the whole episode. So I go on Spotify and I pull them up.
Well, hey, don't sell yourself short either, because you do that as well with the content that you put out. And I'm very excited to have that discussion with you as we kind of go through this episode, because I have just so many questions about Twitch, which has been a mixed bag for me and our friend Jordan as far as just figuring all of that out, but still having a whole lot of fun. So,
yeah.
Eric, before we get started, I'll of course welcome in any returning listeners as well as brand new listeners. Maybe you are coming over because you are a fan of Gafiltha and you're part of his community. Welcome. Make sure you stick around to the very end of the episode. We'll let you know where you can find all the rest of our content as well as Gafiltha's. And, it's going to be a whole lot of fun. So, Eric, with that being said, let's just dive right into this discussion because, again, I have talking points that I have notated here that I want to speak to him about. So we got to get this started.
Yeah, for sure. So I know we'll get to those streaming questions here shortly, but Gafiltha, we knew you first as a podcaster. We referenced kicking off the episode, going back down on memory lane. And I want to definitely talk to you about what you're doing now in the podcast space, getting to hear a lot of the clips and some of the gaming news that you cover has been a lot of fun. So tell us a little bit about your show, what you do over there, and let us know a little bit more about Filthy Raine and anything else you do in the podcast space. This is a great opportunity to plug all that, but we'd love to hear it. And hopefully our listeners will stop by there after this episode.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So when you get an amazing partner like mine, Raine, and you're both gamers, you both love the industry and you're passionate about different sides. I mean, she's a master coder, so she builds games, and then I'm just love playing the games. And then when we talk about the games, we're like, we should have a podcast. So here we go. I was like, I've done a podcast before. Let's start a podcast. And here we go on Filthy Raine, and it's just a gaming podcast where we talk about weekly or bi-weekly news on gaming drama, which I love. I love all the tea in the industry, the who got fired, the this drama, Blizzard that, yada yada. Then there's all the streamer stuff, the upcoming games and titles, our weekly bulletin board on different updates and DLCs, things to look out for. And the best part is we love to incorporate what people bring in to us. So if people are like, you should talk about this, or you need to look out for this game or this content, or have you heard about that? Then I'm like, oh, I'm putting that on top of my list. I was like, clearly, oh, this is juicy, or this is what people want to hear, so we're going to bring that one up. So the input from everybody that's listening is the best part for us, because then I really know what's at the key top of importance in the gaming industry. But man, do I love my tea in the industry. That's the best part about it right there. It's just bringing everyone the heat.
What's funny is you just naturally brought up Blizzard because they're always at the top. It's usually just like, what did Blizzard do this week?
Yeah, it's like we've been doing the episode for like what, two years now, I believe. Yeah, 2 years, and it's like Blizzard has been a nonstop thing for the entire time. Just Blizzard. Just
you can have just a segment like just the Blizzard, like just the Blizzard spot of the episode.
This week on What Did Blizzard Do?
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, we're just going to do a sub podcast, Filthy Raine, the Blizzard sub edition or something.
The Blizzard sub edition. I mean, I would love that. I mean, just with Filthy Raine alone, I think you guys are getting close to that 100 episode mark, which is super exciting. A milestone you guys are getting ready to cross, and through Buzzsprout as well. So I highly implore you guys, especially on the gaming side, definitely check out Filthy Raine. But that's not all you do. And Phil, I think you have some questions, because we couldn't help but notice Gafiltha's got the background going. He's looking all fly, and just seeing your clips, Gafiltha, are always hilarious from your streams. So Phil, I'll let you take it away from that standpoint.
Yeah, so here, on our side, we're probably a few months into our Twitch journey, and again, it's been various levels of success. There's definitely never been a week where there is no technical issue. So I don't know if that's just a constant. I will say I do have an element that not necessarily all streams have to run into, in that I stream with somebody else that is not here. So they are remote, so they're somebody else. So I'm constantly like resizing, the images to fit in the boxes and all that kind of stuff. So throughout your Twitch journey, of course, first, talk about your channel and what you do over there. And also, does this get any easier?
Ooh, does it get easier? That's, yeah, kind of. It's like, I swear, every time I just try to set up to go live, it's like it's a new issue. It's just like, what? Why? You worked perfectly fine the past 4,000 streams. Now, why did you decide to disconnect and have to reconnect this entire WebSocket to, and you got to go back and watch this video that was made in 2009 on how to connect to the version 1 because nobody's ever had the issue ever again. And it's just like, it's quite, you become a tech savvy guy learning it through the process. Does it become easier though? Yeah, in a way. I guess in a way it does. But yeah, Twitch has been a fun journey. It really only happened because COVID, and I was like left with no work, with nothing to do, locked inside a house in old Florida with nothing real to do. And I was like, you know what? Let's go live. Let's do it. We'll go live, and here we are, and we'll have a good old time. And so we hit the button, and we just started streaming every day, and before you know it, here's years later, I'm just keep coming up with ideas, and I'm like, oh, let's do this, let's do that. And I love sci-fi. I love space stuff. So we had to keep with the theme and be in space stations and having all that fun. But it's been a journey. We stream as often as I want. There used to be a schedule, but let me say the biggest thing on streaming is burning out. Everybody just burns out so much because they're like, I'm going to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or I'm going to do Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. And you go every day on those days at 8 p.m. sharp. And then one day you're just like, I don't feel it. I'm tired. And then you lose it. And then suddenly they're out. It's just like, you guys know, it's just like podcasting. So many podcasters do the pod fading and just disappear. And then it's tough, but you gotta have good balance. Now, these days, I just go live when I go live. And when people just gotta have the notification on, and then they gotta get their phone and go, he's going. I give a little headway, but I feel like it brings more importance. Whoever got that notification, whoever's paying attention, they come, they get the show of a lifetime.
Yeah, there you go. And that's a good point because we only even do it once a week, and we've even already run into that burnout. Not necessarily because we don't want to stream, but the level of quality that I want the stream to be, I feel like sometimes isn't there. And we're all content creators. We all know when the level of quality isn't there, you just do feel like, man, do I even want to do this right now? So there have been weeks where I'm like, oh, that was great. And then again, another week where it's just like Eric, when we played Sea of Thieves, 30 minutes into that, I was like, I'm over this. I know for a fact that people aren't having fun watching this because I'm not having fun playing it. So,
what do you mean? You got stuck behind a tree for like a solid 20 minutes.
20 minutes, and then the ship got stuck. I got stuck in between it. It was a disaster, and I was just like, I don't want to play this anymore. And it was a nightmare. So yeah, getting burnt out, that's not even just a streaming thing. That's just a content creation thing, and you got to keep that fresh. Do you use OBS, or have you found something better, or do you use something different? You're obviously much more farther into this than I am.
I started with Streamlabs OBS, and then I even looked into, I think it was another one. I don't remember what the other one was called, but then I went to OBS. So I've kind of just learned in so many different ones just to try to figure out which one works best for me. And OBS has so many different third-party tools that people have created for it. So it really helps out to really get all technical on the back end. So that's going to help me automate a lot of it onto third-party softwares that just have to run, and I don't have to push so many buttons on the Stream Deck on my 52 monitor setup with my 18 command keys and my 42 side buttons here, because of course that's how every streamer's got it with their 100 key Stream Deck on there. Totally not just a single keyboard.
No, definitely not. I'm not running everything from a single monitor and just one keyboard.
Yeah, right?
That's definitely not what I have here. I'm not going to turn my camera around to show you guys because it's just too much, but that's definitely how it is. Yeah, I will say, once I got into at least the very basics of OBS, and I had a buddy of mine, actually a shout out to Andrew from Friendly Neighborhood Gamers, who got on here and just walked me through it. Once you do get a grasp of everything, it is pretty user-friendly. There's just a lot to manage. But, once you get a hang of it, it's definitely been a lot of fun. We are looking to, I think one thing that's interesting is just finding what content people want to watch. I think maybe the most viewed we had over the last month was we were doing Chained Together. Remember, Chained Together was all over social media for a good couple weeks, and we're like, okay, this is something maybe we can latch on to, and then another week we'll play like Overcooked and there'll be like nobody in there, because you just got to figure out what people want, and also make it more interactive for the audience that is there, which is something we've been working on as well. But yeah, it's been fun. I mean, Eric only seems to pop in when I'm struggling to crop images, and that just happens to be when the one time he pops in, I'm like, well, this is great.
Maybe I'm the source of him feeling this way, because I definitely have popped in and been like, yeah, I shouldn't have.
Yeah, like each time, I'm like, how does this keep happening?
I'm like, this is only my third time logging into this Twitch account, and I can't stay. I cannot stay. It's always bad timing, but obviously, Gafiltha, you've been doing this for quite a bit. The commander himself, always navigating everyone through a fun time. What would you say is the thing that your community knows the most about you from Twitch? Like, is it the persona? Is it the character? Is there something a little bit more in depth? Like, what is that one thing that you feel like you give to your community every time that you get on stream? Maybe it's a goal, or it just happens that way. What is that one thing?
Oh man, what pulling out the difficult questions. I was out here rehearsing in the mirror. I was like, okay, if he asks me this, I'll say this. If he asks me that, I'll say that. And then he just pulled out a card, and I was like, oh my gosh. And now it's embarrassing for everybody, because, the commander persona is going to be out here like, I have an answer for everything, and I am trained in rhetoric, and, let me reverse your question and turn it around on you like some politician. But, generally I have, that's a tough one, because the three cores that I kind of initially started it on was energy, positivity, and future. So I always want to provide energy, hype. There's never going to be a me like quiet, staring at a thing, tired. Like, if I'm getting to that point, it's time to end it. It's time to wreck. We're always at 100%. Positivity, only positivity. We're only talking good. We're only speaking good. We're only spewing good. Nothing. I'm not going to be on there moping. I'm not going to be trying to get some, somebody come and pay attention to me or nothing. And, whatever it might be. And then future, because I'm trying to look for the next best tech, the next coolest things, the next little features, the next fun little add-ons and extensions to add on. I'm in all these little groups and forums and discords. I'm like, what's all the new stuff that we can do on Twitch? What's all the cool little integrations on there? There's things you can print. You can have somebody sub and it prints out a receipt on there. You can have holographic images, a bunch of cool tech. And obviously the wall is what's hindering me right now. There's always the funding part, but the one thing is they can always expect a good time, and to be cherished and well and taken care of. Because you could be a stranger, man. You could be a stranger, and we're gonna become homies in 5 minutes. You could be the guy in Europe that's tuning in because it's 8 a.m. over there, but it's 3 a.m. over here, and he's like, "Good morning," But they're always gonna have a good time, always gonna deliver, and make you go, "Wow, how did you do that?" And make you question: are you watching a movie, or are you watching a live stream? What are you watching right now? Was that live right now? Was he really in space? Who knows?
Yeah, I will say one thing that's really been fun about messing around in OBS and Streamlabs and all that stuff is, like you said, all the different extensions that are on there. And I need to get back on. I think what my worry is I've gotten to a space now where I am pretty comfortable where everything is. So adding something on new, I'm like, God, is that gonna work correctly, or am I gonna fuck up everything that I worked so hard for to get to just this point where I'm not even comfortable now? So that's always something that I'm like a little worried about. But it is, like we just talked about, keeping things fresh, keeping the audience engaged is such a huge thing. I do want to transition into, because Eric talked about community and your community. One community that you've constantly been a part of and you're always posting about is Destiny. And I want to know, because Destiny we always kind of like circled Destiny as something like, should we dive into that, Eric? Should we check that out? Is that something we should get into? Because, our gaming backstory goes all the way back to the Bungie days when you're talking about Halo 2, 3, ODST, Reach. And then I played the first Destiny, and Eric did not, but I played it for a little bit, and I don't really remember if I ever dove into Destiny 2. So, if you were to tell somebody, or if you were to try and, if somebody came to you and was like, hey, is this something worth getting into now in 2024? You know, why would one do that? Or are you one of those players like with some of our friends that play like League, and they're like, don't ever jump into League? Is Destiny in that space, or is that something where the community is like, yes, please come join us and you know, check out what we've been doing here in this game?
Wow. Well, Destiny. Yeah. Well, it just seemed like you, man. I've been a Bungie guy since before Halo came out. I was out there seeing that concept video that I got on some GameStop DVD that it was for Brute Force on original Xbox or something.
Oh my god.
And, yeah, and I was like,
totally
what is
forgot
this?
about Brute Force.
Yeah, back
Wow,
in the
that's
day.
a crazy pull.
Yeah.
God.
Like, pull it out. But
Yeah.
there's a nice little concept thing of like the 2001 Macworld video of like what Halo would have looked like, and I'm like, I want that game. So I finally got the game, and I'm like, I'm a believer. Halo, this, that, boom. And then when Destiny, I was like, this is gonna be perfect. It's wonderful. And it was, and I got in a relationship with Destiny, and we went on for 5 good years happily, and a few backstabs, a few, okay, I still love you, a few backstabs, okay, I still love you, oh, horrible, I keep falling for the trap of a next expansion, and then Destiny 2, and then, you know, it's like, oh, you let me down, okay, you made it up, oh, you let me down, you made it. It's such a roller coaster with Destiny. It's such a toxic relationship that every Destiny player has had with Destiny. And now that it's kind of concluded 10 years of like the whole narrative that they've been piecing together, and they did it so wonderfully with a nice bow, such a nod to all the veterans that have been on there since the beginning, and it's probably in its best state right now, where, you know, whoever comes in can dive in, and it's the most polished, well balanced, beautiful game. But I will say, the new player ramp is just so steep. Like, you need a friend. If you're gonna just go in yourself and, I'm gonna start Destiny, you're done. You're gone. You're gonna be bored. You're gonna be like, I can't figure anything out. But if you got friends or you got a clan, that's why I'm always inviting people to my clan. I'm like, come on in, we'll help you out. I'll help you out. Commander's got you. Which is kind of where the Commander title came from. I don't think I've shared this with too many folks. I was just kind of the go-to leader, like, hey, we're gonna do this raid this night, do this raid that night, and people were like, oh, you're the commander, and I was like, oh, whatever. And then people just kept saying, hey, commander, commander. I'm like, all right, we're just gonna take the title then. If everyone just keeps calling me commander, I'll just say Commander Gafiltha, and it just kind of stuck that way. But I was like, I don't really command anything. There's no rank or nothing, but I love the game. I've religiously played it. It's always my go back game. When new games come out, you go to another title. I'm like, ooh, this is hot. Let me jump into Helldivers. Let me go jump into this. And then I'm like, oh, now I'm bored. What do I play? I know. I'll go visit that Destiny down in the cellar and, you know, pull her out again and we'll reconnect because you're always there for me. But I'd say definitely get some friends if you're diving into Destiny. Definitely make sure there's a group or a clan that can bring you into the fun activities that you need 6 people for, 3 people for, and then you can have fun. But recently, yeah, I'm going to say with the last episode we had of Filthy Raine, there's been some stuff happening over at Bungie that have made me kind of lose some trust in where the series might be going. And I mean, the 10-year conclusion is there. This might be my first time. I might uninstall that game since I first installed it. So I don't know, but I still will play it. Like, say Phil and Eric dived in right now, I'm in it. I'll rock and roll with them until they're bored with it, you know?
Yeah, I would say no chance in hell, but, you know,
Eric is definitely never going to check out Destiny. Yeah. There might be a time where I just, like, install it and check it out. I'm like, hey, Gafiltha, I installed Destiny. Let's see what this is all about. But Eric will never play Destiny.
Yeah, Phil enjoys pain. He just recently saw Borderlands in theaters opening week. Very interesting choice.
I did.
knowing exactly what he was going to get into. But yeah, listen, I
I
digress.
like going to the movies.
If you
wear
wanted
the
to throw your
same
money
dress.
away, you could have just burned it.
I wear the same suit that Nicole Kidman wears, and I walk in with my popcorn.
Stop saying that. Stop saying that. And you already reached platinum status, so you really didn't have to do
I
it.
did. 32 and counting, baby. Trying to get to 50.
Man.
Trying to get to 50. Yeah. But Gafiltha, I think that's just so funny because like you're kind of like you're getting close to or envisioning the end of your Destiny journey. Our toxic relationship game has always been Fortnite. So that has been our toxic game, and we just finally I mean I don't play it unless Phil asks me to get on. So Phil does get on from time to time, but that used to be our in the pocket game where like we're bored, we tried something out, we didn't like it, or we got tired of it. Let's go back to Fortnite. And I'm finding myself now kind of getting out of that habit. So very, very interesting. Definitely the end of some eras happening here. But I am curious, especially recently, you mentioned Helldivers, which I know we were super excited about when it came out. You played Starfield. Like, what are some of these games since we last talked? We'll just say like the last 5 years to kind of put a number on it. What are some of those games that have really captured your attention? So when you're not playing Destiny, what are some of those other games that you've been touching and enjoying, streaming or not, from a gaming perspective?
Well, firstly, I gotta say, sounds like I'm reinstalling Fortnite, and I'm gonna pull Eric and Phil right back into it and be like, "Let's go get these dubs, boys."
I mean, listen,
I still play it quite a bit because my daughter has now gotten into it.
yeah,
So
and listen, I just got done telling Phil this. A Fortnite dub, still almost nothing beats that. I'm just gonna be honest. So I mean, if you asked, we will come. But yeah, continue.
We're getting their epic IDs.
if you install it, we will come. Like Field
There
of
we
Dreams,
go.
but with Fortnite of Dreams.
Fortnite of Dreams. There we go. We can make it happen, folks. We can make it happen. Yeah, and I never played Fortnite until the Star Wars. I think it was whatever the one where Boba Fett skin dropped after like Book of Boba. I was like, you know what? I'm bored. I'm gonna give Fortnite a try. Oh, it's because no build. Because I tried it like long ago, and no build was probably gonna be the only thing that drew me in, and it did. So I decided to buy some Star Wars skins in there, and I was like, oh, perfect, because I can't figure out how to build and all the stuff. It's
Zero
too much
build is
for-
the most brilliant battle royale move they of any company. Honestly, it was so smart.
Yeah, as a Destiny Titan, for the folks that don't know Titans, we're the big just punch, eat crayons, and I just shoot and punch and shoot and punch. I'm very a stupid gamer. I mean, Master Chief has grown me to be that way. Just point and blast something until it dies. So that's all I know. I'm not all about the cool mechanics and the magic and the spells and acrobatics. No, I just shoot. But man, oh man. Yeah, Helldivers 2. Of course, we all had to go in for democracy. You know, that thing was a awesome game. There were some decisions there from, Sony and higher ups that, caused it to lose some folks. But hey, I'm still going in there. I got my mug that says, liberty. I gotta go in there and do the fight for democracy. We all gotta kind of dive in, when nobody's watching, and I can go in there, do my service and clock out and go back to other titles. And no one's gotta know that, I'm one of those divers out there in the world, still fighting the fight. But Starfield 2, man. See, I always put my money in these games. Cyberpunk, Starfield. What other titles are there? I'm sure I looked at my whole entire roster on Steam and my Xbox, and I'll be like, oh, how was I let down this time? Because I'm so happy and thrilled when these games are coming out, and then they just kind of fall a little short. And what feels bad is I'm that hype guy. I'm the guy to tell my friends, bro, you gotta look for Cyberpunk 2077. You better pre-order that game. It's gonna be dope. Check it out. And he's like, no, I don't know. And it came out, and I was like, now I look like a fool. I'm supposed to be the gaming expert. I'm supposed to recognize what's good. I was like, it was CD Projekt Red. They had 10 years to cook it, and then they failed. And it was buggy and broken. But man, and I'd say Starfield has kind of taken me whenever I'm not like streaming and I just want to vibe back. Starfield, I just kick it on, even though you hit points where you're kind of like, it's a Bethesda game. You hit a point where you're like, I'm kind of bored. Let me go switch some gears. Lately, I don't know if you guys ever played Middle Earth Shadow of War or Shadow of Mordor. I forgot it was like the newest one.
Oh, those games are sick. Yeah.
I beat them both, and then realized I never did the DLC for the Blades of Galadriel and the Baranor guy. I was like, let me go, 2024, I said, I'm going to knock out all these titles that I've just had on backlog, and I've yet to finish, because I just keep playing Destiny. And I was like, let's put Destiny down, and let me knock out some freaking titles. So now, especially on stream or even off stream, I'm like, I need to start chomping at all this stuff that I've already paid for, and it's just sitting there, just wasting money. So I'm trying to knock that one out, and I'm still shocked that nobody has taken that Nemesis system in any other way in any other game. I'm like, how has nobody said, hey, there's this cool system where if this guy kills you, he levels up and gets something else and comes back, or you kill him, he comes back to hunt you down, remembers how you killed him, so he learns how to defend against that. I'm like, that's genius. Somebody else, come on, get in there. But man, oh man. And I guess Valorant when I want to get sweaty. A Riot Games. I don't play League, but
Oh man,
Valorant,
I enjoy the hell out of Valorant on PlayStation. It's been a lot of fun. Eric does not enjoy it, but he'll get on.
Hey, I'll get on and
Let's
play
get
it.
Eric.
Yeah, I'll get on and play it. I got it installed, but am I having the best time? Maybe not always.
Not to switch gears really quick, Gafiltha, have you seen this PC gaming article that came out a month ago that said Steam users have spent $19 billion on games they've never played?
I have not seen that article, but I believe it. I believe it.
It specifically mentions Red Dead Redemption 2, which I bought in the last spring sale, and so I immediately started playing. I was like, I'm going to show them. I'm going to play this right now.
Oh man, you know how close I am every time that game. I still haven't bought it, but every time it goes on sale, I add it to the cart and I go, I should buy it, and then I go, but there's so many other games I gotta get into first. And so I go, I'm just gonna take it out of my cart. I say it'll be on sale later, and it keeps coming back on sale.
Go back on sale. Yeah, and you have to commit so much time into it, because once you do finally dive into it, there's so much to do. You can spend hundreds of hours in it, and it's still, I think, and I know a lot of people agree with this, it's still Rockstar's best game to date. So yeah, it'll go on sale, and when's the next one? October. So it'll be fine. It's the next sale.
Mm-hmm.
It'll probably go on sale in between now and then anyway. So that is not going anywhere.
And
but
then,
I wanted to throw that number out.
And it's Rockstar. In 5 years, it's going to have the Red Dead Redemption 2 Remaster XL
Right.
Edition. And then in 10 years, it's going to have the Red Dead Redemption 2 with Red Dead 1
With the
Master
first one.
Complete Edition. Yeah.
And then they have to throw in Undead Nightmares, and they'll do like the Undead, like Red Dead pack.
Yep. They're just going to repackage it and keep selling it.
Yep. Like when they recently released Red Dead 1 on Switch and the PS5 for some reason. Like, why? What do you mean? Why would we don't need that? So, yeah, and I've only had my gaming PC I've had less than a year, and I already have games in my library that I know I'm never gonna play. Like I told this to somebody, I think it was Andrew last time he was on, Eric. I have Call of Juarez Gunslinger because it was like $3. So I was like, yeah, I might play that one day.
It just feels like financially, maybe that $3 would help in other areas in your life.
I wanted to play. One of the reasons I really love Park Simulator, so I'm like a big Jurassic World Evolution 2 fan. So I've always wanted to play, because Frontier also made Planet Zoo. So I was like, one of the first things I'm going to buy is Planet Zoo when I get my gaming PC. And that is when I learned that I do not do well with a park creator with that level of customization options. So I've barely touched it since I bought it, because I was like, this is too much. I'm going to go back to Jurassic World, where it's relatively simple. Yeah, and maybe one of the games I've played the most, My Dream Setup, where I can set up I can just put together a bedroom or a gaming room or a living room wherever I want, and I just sit there and put on some music and vibe. So that's where that's the state of me, of where I am right now. Oh, Thief Simulator. I think I played that for half an hour and haven't touched it, because I saw a YouTuber play it. I was like, this looks fun, and then I haven't touched it in months.
So I'm just sending Phil all the simulators. I gotta get your Steam ID and gift you every simulator ever.
Yes.
No,
just
seriously,
to build
he loves
your backlog.
He loves simulators.
I do love a good simulator.
Power washing simulator.
Power washing simulator is excellent.
Police simulator.
Oh yeah, we've been playing police simulator. That one's good.
Insane.
That one's good. What other simulators do I have in my wish list? You can continue, Eric. I'll check my wish list here really quick.
You don't have to do that.
Oh, you know what? I have Dinosaur Fossil Hunter. That's in my wish list right now. Fish Keeper. That's just an aquarium simulator. It's not out yet, so it's
okay.
It's wish list.
Well, you know what?
That's what I got.
It's funny that Phil's talking about his wish list and a couple games that aren't out, because my next question, Gafiltha, was going to be, we brought you on for a Foresight episode, talking about things we were looking forward to. So back in that kind of theme, I'm curious, looking ahead over the next few, remaining months of the year and going into 2025, what are some games that you are looking forward to getting your hands on, to playing? You're hoping are good. This is your chance to either redeem yourself on the Cyberpunk take or to make another Cyberpunk take. Really, time will tell, but what do you got for us?
Folks, it's time to cement it in right now. This is the make or break moment. All right, my number one title right now that has me hooked, that made me uninstall another title as soon as I played one match, and that's going to be Marvel Rivals. Man, they just
That's one of my bullet points. I'm so glad that came up organically.
Oh yeah. Once I went into Marvel Rivals, I was like, wow, this is Co's test beta. I was like, this is well polished. And yeah, there's little tweaks, and like I'm sure Magneto has to be debuffed on this, or maybe Hulk needs buffed on that. Little tweaks and stuff that I'm sure they're gonna find and adjust and balancing. But overall, visually, looks great. Gameplay wise, it's fun. The team ups in that game is pretty dope. The way you can team up with characters that actually connect in the universe, I'm just like, oh yeah, Wanda and Magneto, of course, because that's his daughter, and in some comics, but. And I was just, this is wonderful. It's fun. I went to Overwatch 2. I hit uninstall. I said, I'm never going to see you again. I don't need that toxicity. I don't need that in my life.
I don't want to play with you anymore.
Yeah. So, yeah. Andy dropping his little Woody straight up. Man, that one's number one hype. And I just wish there's another open beta, because as soon as it ended, I was like, what do I do with my life? What do I do now? I can't go home and go, I can't wait to dive into Marvel Rivals. And the fact that they have such an unlimited roster of characters to just keep pulling from, I'm interested to see how obscure they're going to pull characters from. There's got to be a Deadpool and a Wolverine in there, because that movie is doing phenomenal, and it was phenomenal. But I don't know if Phil and Eric enjoyed it as much as I did. I don't know if that's a different episode to uncrack. But man, Marvel Rivals was definitely on top of the list. Dragon Ball, I forgot what it's called now.
Sparking Zero?
Sparking Zero, that's what it is. I just had it right there. That one right there is going to be a fun game. I'm gonna lock in right now. That one's going to be a hit. That one's going to be a hit because they're literally doing what Tenkaichi was doing right. Looks like the same gameplay. It looks like the same characters. They're building a huge roster in there. And they're delivering nice little trailers, slowly showing the different characters that they're adding in. I think that one's going to be really fun. I think we're going to be hooked. Fighting games obviously aren't something that people play year-round every night, but it's going to be something that's going to be really special. I had my eyes on Space Marine 2. I've never played Space Marine 1, but it looks like they're really taking advantage of more modern tech to just make it look beautiful, render a lot of enemies, put a lot of blood on the field, and just get down. Man, other than that, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, because now that Destiny was done, I was just like, that's kind of it for me, man. I was like, I'm done with gaming. I'm putting up the cloak. Stream is ending. We're turning it off, man. It's over. I'm gonna go sell my Xbox, sell my PC, and start reading books. Just that's it.
Yeah, like I said, I'm really glad my Marvel Rivals came up, because I was just so interested in it. And literally the other day, my sister and brother-in-law and I just spent maybe a good hour watching gameplay on all the characters and just familiarizing ourselves with it, because we definitely want to jump into it. Unfortunately, we didn't get to try out the beta, but it just looks so interesting. And you're right, they have such a deep well of characters to draw from. And, you know, I'm glad you did bring up Overwatch, because a lot of people from the Overwatch community were obviously paying attention to this game, just because for something as simple as character design and character presentation, right? Like, we didn't play Overwatch 1, but we did jump into Overwatch 2 for a little bit, and the juxtaposition of how the Marvel Rivals characters are presented, and Overwatch 2, which used to be so rich in lore, and now it's just feels like an empty space, which is such a bummer, because even when I didn't play Overwatch, I still watched those, like, cinematic trailers they made for each character. I was like, this is so interesting. This would make a great show. Like, I would watch the hell out of this. And now that's just gone, which is a bummer. So very interested to jump into Marvel Rivals. And yeah, the team up thing is so cool, Eric. Like, in Rocket and Jeff and like other animal characters, like, they can, if they're all on the field at the same time, they'll like boost each other depending on the type of character they are. And it's just a really smart system. So what looked like a throwaway money grab is actually seeming to be like a legitimate like game that could stick around for a while. Again, just because you said there's so many characters. There's that character Magic. I'd never heard of that character. I don't know that that's the style of character I would play. As far as like the kind of character she is, but like still, it's a sweet design. Like, what a cool character. I looked into who that character was after seeing her in Marvel Rivals. So I didn't even know Jeff was a thing, and now I am obsessed with that little shark. I would die for him. And what a game again that we thought was going to be nothing, and I'm glad to see it making waves.
Yeah, I mean, as far as Marvel Rivals, I think that is a opportunity where, you know, there's all these games that are coming out that are trying to make their mark, but they have that IP behind it. So I think that definitely helps. And I was never a big Overwatch like follower of like how the game was created, the community. But Phil, when we jumped into Overwatch 2, I mean, we knew that game was missing parts. You know, there's something not making sense, not lining up. So that wasn't hard to see. But I did enjoy some parts of Overwatch 2, and to kind of hear those comments, Gafiltha, I think those are great. But off the top of your dome, I mean, you named a lot. Phil's been trying to convince me just recently about Warhammer, which I was shocked about. But we were huge Gears of War fans, and there seems to be little small elements there. But there are also a lot of other things when you kind of start to hear about the game. Dylan from your Friendly Neighborhood Gamers, we've been shouting them out a lot between him and Andrew. He's a big fan of it, and I'm excited. I'm also, Phil already knows where I'm going to go with this, Astrobot, dude. So excited for Astrobot on the PlayStation. It's going to be game of the year. I just want to keep saying it so it goes. I just need a nomination. I don't even need it to win. I just want a nom. That's it. But yeah, I think those are kind of the big ones, unless they all of a sudden release Hollow Knight Silk Song, which apparently that game doesn't exist. So I don't know.
Not real. Stefan has convinced me, Eric's brother has convinced me that game is not real. So I don't think we're ever going to see it.
It's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. But Phil, what do you have any other bullet points, any other items that we haven't touched on regarding our guest before we get ready to jump into some games here soon?
Well, Eric, I think we would be remiss just because we run into so few of these like-minded people when we have them on, and I just have to talk to you about Xbox, because the state of Xbox and I'll also just couple in Halo with this as well, because as we've already talked about, it's such a big part of our journey and where we are now. I mean, everything can be traced back to those early Xbox and Halo days. What is your opinion on the state of where Xbox and Microsoft is, where they're going? Because, we just actually talked about on last month's episode of What Did I Miss? We discussed the price hike in Game Pass, which is just not great, especially since it's happening right before Black Ops 6 is coming out. Mm-hmm. So, this falls in line right with, all the gaming news that you love to talk about. What do you feel about the future of Xbox and Microsoft? And also, what's going on with Halo, man? Is this a dead IP? Is there any chance they can resurrect the Chief or is it, do we just have to press F and pay our respects at this point?
Ooh, that's a in-depth one there, man. Because yeah, I've been following them so rigorously and just trying to figure out what's happening every step by step since they've acquired or went for the move for Activision Blizzard acquisition. I've been like telling everybody on every episode that I could on Filthy Raine and just trying to tell everyone what's happening. And after years of just following to step by step, I've been an advocate for Xbox. I'm like, hey man, they're trying to do good. They're trying to spread games more places. Give Switch some games, give PC some games, give it to everybody. I was like, oh, that's good. But in the back of my mind, I always had this could also be a very bad thing for the industry as a whole. And, to kind of monopolize all these developers and studios under one umbrella could also be very bad at the same time. And they could just be lazier. Now what's unfortunately happening, the whole recent layoffs and everything, and then the price hike. And it's like, yeah, right when you're about to get Black Ops out, like how's, that's very, very, anti-consumer now. I thought you were looking out for us. So I know some folks that kind of have worked through Xbox, and they say Phil Spencer's one to be trusted. They say he's a good dude. He's dedicated for the gaming. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna put my marbles in there. I'm hoping that there's a light at the end of it. Come on, man. Don't just be another corpo in a suit that's just out for the money. But Xbox, I'm hoping they kind of pull through. I know they've been struggling financially and their payout hasn't been nice, but hopefully they kind of come out and do something good for the industry as a whole. I mean, having the Game Pass period has been a nice benefit, but the price hike, I did set my rules on what dollar amount it would reach, and I would have to just say, I'm sorry, Xbox, I'm just gonna buy games the old school way now, because it's I can't keep those subscriptions going up. But Halo, man, oh man, yeah, Infinite had a rough launch, had a whole roller coaster-y ride. Ooh, it's back, it's dead, it's back, it's dead. Their esports though has been nonstop, which I definitely applaud. Their Halo Championship Series has been nice. I had a lot of friends that go to it, compete in it, and they say they're like, how's it dead, man? Look at all these thousands of people I'm with here. They love it and they're enjoying it. So I know the esports side it's not dying for a while in that title. And but I know on the general aspect, yeah, they kind of lost a lot of folks, especially how they cut the campaign stuff out of their most recent title, Halo Infinite. I'm like, what? I thought this was going to be the one where you just keep throwing it my way, kind of live service-y style. But right now, the rumor is 343 lost the IP, and then 343 came back and said, no, we still got the IP. And I'm like, okay, we're going to find out what happens, because there's so many things in all these studios that are just being chopped off, and U200 are out, U50 are out, this project's cut, that project's cut. And I kind of saw this, I think about a year ago, that after we had the whole ramp up of COVID and all these studios hired so many people, they're going to eventually fall back down. And here's that big crash. And I know it's probably going to go on for another year, and studios are going to be hurting. We're going to get some bad DLCs and bad expansions where we're like, you want me to pay $20 for this? Just this? 20 megabytes of skin, and that's it. But I think Halo's got something for it cooked. Not anytime soon, I'd say, man. But I really wish what's funny is just before, we're out here recording, I was looking at my original Halo 1 Xbox disc and my Halo 2 disc, comparing with my girlfriend's Halo 2 disc and her Halo 1 disc. And we're like, where did we start? Look where we started. I opened it up, smelled what it smelled like to be in 2001. And I was like, man, times were so much simpler back when these games were just full games on a disc, beautiful package, everything ready to go. And now it's just, it's tough to just really put out your hard-earned dollars at every title that comes your way. And I have faith, I want to believe, but every step that a lot of studios and the industry is doing makes it tougher and tougher to commit to their next title or their next expansion or their next patch and such. So it's tough, but I want to believe, like Halo 3.
I think the rough thing also about Halo Infinite Air, because we tried to get into it, when it was having a little bit, of a rise there when they had fixed quite a bit of stuff. And honestly, and this is going to show my age, and this will definitely be an age thing, is just we just weren't good at it anymore. We had adjusted our first-person shooting to a Call of Duty or to a third person with Fortnite, and we got to that point where we're just getting annihilated. And similar to Overwatch 2, when you're just getting destroyed. What was that other game we played recently? X-Defiant. When you're just getting absolutely lambasted by people that are way better than you, and it's just not fun. So I, too, hope for, and I think it's great for gaming if there is a resurrection of Halo, but Eric, I just don't know if it's going to happen, and you couple that with the TV show being what it was, and it's like in a rough state all around.
Yeah. Well, that being canceled doesn't help, and I know we talked about that. I always thought it should be a movie, just because Halo is so bombastic and it's just so cinematic that I think it would have really lent itself to it. But I think that ship is gone, and I don't think we'll ever see anything live action until they figure out what's going to happen in the gaming space. I mean, they're bread and butter. They literally don't have any bread or butter. So I don't know what they're going to do, but I think it'll definitely be interesting to see how it goes. It's funny to hear you say that, Gafiltha, because I'm starting to realize my age and sound like that bitter old man more and more when it comes to gaming compared to like any other medium, which I think is absolutely crazy. So definitely appreciate you sharing that. Phil, any other items that you have before we jump into our 2 games that we have for our guest and you to partake in, which is curated very fairly and definitely not leaning one way nor the other?
You guys see me? I'm watching on YouTube, and you see me Jim look into the camera because he's lying. No, that's it. That was all the bullet points, and I just had to take the opportunity again. Whenever we have fellow Xbox lovers on the channel, we have to pay our respects to the OG. We've branched out to other things now, but we'll still have love for that Microsoft console that could. So no, I think we're good to transition into these games that again are going to be so fair.
They're very fair, very fair. And again, great opportunity for us here. We've got 2 games that we're going to play. We're going to start off with the probably most straightforward one, which is guessing this video game based off of the Metacritic score. And Phil will share that on the screen, so Gafiltha, feel free through the recording studio to maximize that screen so you can see everything. I just pulled the scores and information from Metacritic. Phil, I think we used to do the reviews. Metacritic reviews are very difficult to filter through, so yeah. I just decided to go a different route. I think this will be fun. I've got 5 games that we are going to try to figure out solely based off of their Metacritic score. And if there's any hints I need to give, I'll give those, but it'll be a point for each one, and whoever ends up with the most points at the end wins. Pretty simple, but yeah, we'll jump into that here. And then I've got a debate game afterwards, also gaming style, that I think we'll have a lot of fun in, although Phil is already dreading it.
Yeah, I'm trying to present this properly without seeing the slides.
As long as you don't see the third slide, you're fine.
Presenter view.
Yeah, as long as you can't see the third slide, you'll be okay.
I am trying not to.
So just skip to the third slide.
Yeah. Just close your eyes.
How am I supposed to then... Hold on. All right. Hide live edits. Nope, that's not what it was. I'm trying to hide the bottom of... Because it's not doing it like it did last time I shared. Hold on a second. Sorry, guys. Because in presenter view, Eric, it still shows the slides down at the bottom. And I'm trying to get that to go away. Hold on. Because otherwise we're all going to be able to see it.
Go to present full screen.
Well, then I can't see. Okay, hold on. Well, then I can't. Okay. Let me see.
Well, yeah, no, I think so. You share your screen first, and then you go into present full screen. No?
Yeah. That's fine. I just want to. That's fine. Okay. Okay. Screen.
the joys of podcast.
Ooh, the suspense.
I know. All right, there we go.
Okay. Well, I can't see you guys, obviously, but we're good.
Cool. All right, guys. Pretty straightforward. There's really no rules to go over on this one. Guess the video game based off of the Metacritic scores. So we will jump into our first game. And for this game, you guys will see the Metacritic scores once Phil moves forward.
You gotta tell me, because I can't see
Okay.
your indication.
I thought you would just kind of hear the cadence, but that
Nope.
is perfectly fine. I can
Nope.
I can be more blunt. So you guys will see that this game has a Metacritic score on Xbox One, PS4, and PC. It is playable on the updated new gen consoles, but there is no Metacritic score. You're going to see the Metacritic score for critics is at an 85. Majority are positive. And you're going to see a 5.1 average for user reviews for this particular game. So just off of this information, what are we thinking? Do we have any guesses?
Something that users hated but critics enjoyed.
Yep.
Yeah,
Could be anything.
Tough.
Almost 3,000 ratings, 43% were negative.
Xbox One, PS4. There's a lot more PS4 reviews than Xbox reviews. No, that was an Xbox game. 85.
I know that's a tough one.
Coming here with the challenges today.
Yeah.
Is this the first Destiny?
It is not the first Destiny.
No.
It's or no.
Is it Call of Duty Ghosts?
It is not Call of Duty Ghosts.
Damn.
It's Overwatch.
It is not Overwatch. One or two.
Dang.
Now, Phil, you did say the first Destiny, so I feel like for this one, I kind of have to at least reveal it. It is Destiny 2.
Okay.
It is Destiny 2, so I will give you that one. Because otherwise,
Dang.
I feel like we take a full left turn because you would have thought no Destiny.
Okay,
But
okay.
Destiny is fair. All right. So that's our game, and now we're going to continue. So, Phil, our next slide will show this game is on PS5 and PC. Currently, a critic score of 82, and the average for user is 7.4.
Can't be God of War. No way.
This is Helldivers 2.
This is Helldivers 2. All right.
Oh.
Yeah,
I remember because Eric got 12 points in our fantasy critic league, and he's mad about it.
I'm pretty pissed. I feel like when this game launched and how good it was at launch, I feel like that should have been way higher, personally. So, okay.
Probably because it had like server issues in the beginning, so maybe that was detracted from it.
I mean, I guess,
Yeah.
but even then, I was still having a blast. I was happy to wait. Happy to wait.
Well, we did wait.
Same.
Remember, we played a
Yeah.
couple weeks after it came out, so I think maybe upon launch it was
Yeah.
a little rough.
Yeah. All right. Phil's up 2-0. Gafiltha, Phil came here to play.
He did. He's just knocking it out.
But let's see. Let's see.
Oh, boy.
Let's see if we can turn it around here. This one's a little bit all over the place. So you're gonna see Metacritic
Switch
score.
score.
You're gonna see Metacritic scores for every console pre-gen, but the Switch was obviously a huge difference.
Right, so bad Switch port. We got it.
Bad Switch
Yep,
port.
yeah.
As they usually are.
So bad Switch port, you're going to see an 89 generally favorable critic reviews, and then you're going to see a 6.7 at almost 2,000 reviews for the users. So about 57% of it was positive, 20% mixed, 23% negative.
What had a bad Switch port? 38 reviews on the PS4. Why are there so many less reviews for Xbox?
I don't know. Honestly, I was kind of surprised to see how little the reviews are in general for Metacritic.
Oh yeah, only 38.
Very few. It can't be The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt?
No,
Ooh.
not The Witcher 3.
Oh damn.
Oh.
Those are probably higher than 89.
Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then I was like, the port I heard was
The
also
port
just
was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did The Witcher come out during the 360 time, or was that Xbox One?
Oh, it did come out towards the end of the 360
yeah,
life
the
cycle,
360.
didn't it?
Yeah.
Was it? Maybe. I
Yep.
can't remember.
Yep.
88s across the board, pretty much.
Yeah. Wow.
Yep. And there's no scores on the current gen versions for the game.
But it is on current gen. This isn't like a WWE 2K title, is it?
No, I did not. I did not dig deep. This is a game you both would know of.
Okay.
So just like the first two.
Man, 54.
Yeah, on Switch.
I got nothing.
Red
You want to throw us?
Dead
Oh, go ahead.
Redemption
Oh,
2?
No, it's
I don't
neither. It's
remember.
neither Red Dead.
okay.
What I can tell you as a hint is that this game was released in early 2019.
2019.
Yeah. Where was I in 2019?
Oh man.
And no Series X or PS5. That's the stinger. So late in 2019.
Yes, it came out right before the new consoles, but still new enough for it to be playable on
the
current
Switch,
gen.
of course.
On the
Playable on the
Switch,
Switch.
yeah.
On the Switch, yeah, and there is a version in March of 2022. It became available for PS5 and Xbox X, S and X.
I got nothing.
Okay. Another hint here. This is a EA game.
Of course.
Yeah. I was like, I see.
Star Wars Battlefront 2.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I was literally just about to guess that one too. I was like,
Yeah.
big EA game, 80s, not perfect, Switch
I will.
port.
Yeah, I will say this game was published by EA. Is what I'll clarify.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
A Way Out.
yeah.
Very
Yeah.
specific. No. This is a free-to-play game.
What?
Whoa.
Yeah, it is a free-to-play.
Fortnite Save the World?
That's your best guess so far, but no.
Okay.
Again, published by EA.
Knockout City. The dodgeball game.
No, it wouldn't be Knockout
Oh, I was gonna say, I thought you had it. I thought you had it right there. I was like, he got
City.
it.
It's so funny.
Of course.
Oh, man.
The
Of course Knockout City.
I think the last hint that will probably give it away, it is not only a free-to-play shooter, it is also a battle royale style game.
Published EA Battle Royale 2019. Didn't Battlefield 1 do something? No, but they're... No, yeah, that wasn't on Switch or...
2019 Battle Royale. This was way after, and PUBG's not a EA.
Not
No.
PUBG.
Yeah, not PUBG.
If it's not PUBG and it's not Fortnite
Warzone?
and it's not Warzone,
Apex Legends?
it is
Oh.
Apex Legends. Yes.
Apex Legends is on the Switch?
Yeah, what? I had no idea.
Neither did I. Yeah, there are a lot of negative reviews.
Oh my gosh.
Huh. Damn, that's 5 years old?
Yeah, bad.
Yeah,
port.
crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. All right.
Wow.
Our next game. Great job, Phil. Context clues. This game was released on current gen Xbox and PC. And you'll see here it is generally favorable with an 83 among critics and a 6.8 average among users with over 12,000 user ratings.
Jesus.
57% are positive, 16% are mixed, 27% are negative.
Halo Infinite.
Not a bad guess, but not Halo Infinite.
PC. Starfield?
It is Starfield.
I was literally thinking the next thing. I was like, it has to be.
I was like, come on. We just talked about it. I'll be honest, Phil getting Destiny and Starfield before you, Gafiltha. There's not much I can do here.
I'm a fake fan. What can I say?
All right.
Okay.
This one, we'll just say this one is worth 3 points.
There we go.
Totally not rigged. Our final game you're going to see is our most diverse game. This game has ratings, Metacritic scores for all pre-gen and current-gen consoles and PC. You're going to see generally favorable 86 among critics and a 7.2 average among users. This one has over 35,000 user ratings. 67% positive, 9% mixed, 24% negative.
All 5 consoles.
Yep,
Just
so
because the PS4 and Xbox One are so low, I want to say it wasn't properly done for the older gen consoles. So I want to say Cyberpunk 2077.
Let's go, Cyberpunk, because that was the hit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Awesome. All right. For a bajillion points, Gafiltha.
Okay, that's
Cyberpunk 2077. What a comeback. That was
There's a bajillion to 3.
What can I say?
Was that the last one?
That was the last one. All right.
Okay.
So very good. So that was we'll say that was our test run. And now we're going to move into our debate game. The debate game will work a little differently, but it will be gaming focused. And we have 5 rounds. The points are going to increase each round, and we'll go over some of the rules for that. But I think this will be a lot of fun. And who knows? This might lead to some hot takes or some unpopular opinions. So it'll be interesting to see. But Phil, whenever you're ready, we'll start at the beginning. There we go.
Do. All right.
All right. This is where friends are lost, enemies are made. This is our gaming debate. Phil, proceed to our rules slide. And the rules are simple. Each debater is going to have 60 seconds to state their argument. You will have to make a debate between 2 options. So even if you get stuck with one you don't agree with, you still have to make a debate for it. During the opposing debate, please stay on mute or be silent and do not interject. And the winner will have the ultimate bragging rights. So this is really what it's all about. Are you guys ready?
Let's do it.
Born.
Okay. Born ready. All right, Phil, if you'll start us off on round 1. Which console controller is superior? The Xbox controller or the PlayStation controller? Now, for this one, you can choose any version of Xbox or PlayStation controller for your argument, but the guest is going to go first for round 1. So, Gafiltha, you get your choice to kick things off. Do you want to debate that the Xbox controller is superior or the PlayStation controller is?
We're going to go with the Xbox controller.
Okay. All right, Phil, that means you are going to come back with PlayStation. Gafiltha, I'm going to start the time. We've got 60 seconds, and your time to debate why the Xbox is superior for their controller starts now.
Nothing did better than the Xbox 360 controller after it dropped. Perfect buttons, great ergonomic layout versus the Duke that came out before in the original. Then they added the LB and RB buttons, bumper buttons. You're just mind blown instead of black and white bump. And you got the thumbsticks separate, unlike the PlayStation, so you're able to have proper control of your thumbsticks. It's just exceptional. Triggers, bumpers, thumbsticks not too closely placed together with a beautiful white controller. Xbox is the best. It has to be the best. It outdoes it. Yeah, it needed batteries, but they had a play-in charge kit as well. So, I mean, play-in charge kit, that was awesome. And you had the little connector adapters for the chat pad. You had the connectors for the headphones right at the bottom of the controller. It was exceptional. Beautiful. Nothing better. Boom. Timing.
All right. With 5 seconds to spare, Gafiltha, great job. Great job. So we've got a strong opening debate. Phil, you've got 60 seconds to tell us why the PlayStation is superior, starting now.
Yeah, the only real controller that Sony can go head-to-head with the 360 controller is the PS5 controller. Now, I have said this very recently. I have started to come around as somebody who uses both controllers pretty frequently. I do prefer the PS5 controller now to the current Xbox controller. I think they've really finally gotten down how comfortable it is to play. It's also got, the speaker right there in the controller that really kind of ups the ambiance of whatever game you're playing, whether it be a horror game, a shooter, a sports game, anything like that. And Eric, it is beneficiary to your favorite game of all time, which is Astro's Playroom, and its sequel that's coming out here in the next few months. In terms of controllers, it is absolutely on the forefront of what we are going to see from Sony, and Xbox is probably going to steal some of those ideas going forward. So the PS5 controller, where we're at now, is the best controller in gaming.
Okay, right at the mark there, and Phil going deep there, trying to get a deep cut on me. Shit, it worked. All right, so Phil, I'm going to give you our first point for your argument there.
Let's go.
That was very good. Gafiltha,
I'm going to be honest, I thought when you brought up the accessories, because that chat pad and like the controller, I was like, oh no.
I was for sure sold, yeah. But no, dude, the way that PlayStation remote works, that's why I genuinely think it's like not a joke. I think Astrobot has a real shot, because they've never taken advantage of that PlayStation remote with what the promises of Astro's Playroom kind of showed us what we could do. So I think it's going to be excellent. But Phil, let's go ahead and go to our next round. This is going to be worth 2 points. Again, points are going to increase each round. Which Nintendo franchise is more important? Pokemon or Super Mario? The winner of the last round decides which side they will argue for. So Phil, you have winner's advantage here. Who do you want to take, Pokemon or Super Mario?
I'm going to have to go with what I'm more familiar with, which is Pokemon.
Okay. Gafiltha, that means you'll return back fire with Super Mario. Phil, you've got 60 seconds. Why is Pokemon the most important Nintendo franchise?
Pokemon, in terms of its importance to pop culture, really cannot be understated. I mean, yes, Mario is, of course, when people think of gaming, they think of Mario, but when you think of just the cute characters, and when you think of Pikachu, and there is at least one Pokemon, no matter what your experiences with the franchise, you can always think of Pikachu or Jigglypuff or something along those lines. There are Pokemon assigned to specific precincts in Japan that are that precinct's guardian Pokemon. That's how much of an impact it has within Japan, and not to mention what it has over in the entire world. I mean, we just lost the voice actor of Misty, and people who haven't watched Pokemon in years were sad over that, and just the cultural impact it had from 1998 or 99 on. Look at Pokemon Go, the closest we've had to world peace, right? So I think you got to go with Pokemon, especially now with what it's meant to so many people.
All right, Phil's got that 1 minute timer in his head. That was perfect timing.
Do I? Okay. I was like,
good.
I feel like I'm getting close.
That was solid.
That's the stand-up comic clock, internal clock in me.
Telling you, that time management. All right, Gafiltha, you have 1 minute to tell us why is Super Mario the most important Nintendo franchise, starting now.
Oh, baby. Now, does Pokemon have its own world at Universal? I didn't think so. Super Mario has its own world for a reason, because it's the most important. They said, we are going to make a world what are we gonna make it about? Pokemon? No. We're gonna do Mario. And now, when you think about the last few years in gaming titles that are coming out, Pokemon has delivered some very lackluster projects that haven't really been doing too hot. Mario has still been taking the ball with the dubs and the dubs because Mario doesn't lose. He doesn't catch L's. He only catches wins. Mario, by far, is Nintendo's most important franchise because he started it before Pokemon. He was that 80s boy, 82, 84, somewhere around that time. He pioneered the consoles. Super Mario 64. Come on. He had Mario Galaxy. Man, oh man, he's iconic. You look at Mario, everybody knows him. He's a Halloween character, too. Nobody dresses up as Pikachu for Halloween.
That's a solid argument. Gafiltha, I'm going to give you the points for that one. That is 2 points to Gafiltha. Very strong argument.
You didn't even bring up the $1 billion movie.
Nope. That's true. I haven't seen it yet.
No, he already buried you at Super Mario World. That was a pretty strong
Yeah,
opening.
no. There is a Pokemon theme park, but obviously it's not
Yeah.
it's not Mario World.
Yeah.
So.
And this is America, so America wins.
Yeah.
America. All right. Round 3 is going to show us which classic arcade game is more iconic. Is it Pac-Man or is it Galaga? The person who's been streaming longer gets to choose this round. So that is actually, I believe, if the math serves me correctly, Gafiltha. Gafiltha, what?
Forgot about these.
What option do you want to pick? Do you want to say that Pac-Man is more iconic or Galaga?
Oh man, we're gonna go with Pac-Man. We're gonna put our money on Pac-Man. Final answer.
All right, Phil, you've got Galaga. So this one is worth 3 points. Points increase every round. Gafiltha, you will go first. You have 60 seconds to tell us why Pac-Man is the most iconic arcade game. Your time starts now.
There we go. Ask your older sibling about Pac-Man. They say, I loved it. Ask your parents about Pac-Man. They loved it. Ask your grandparents about Pac-Man. They loved it. Ask your mom about Pac-Man. They loved it. They were at the arcades back in the day playing what? Pac-Man. Not Galaga. They weren't playing that. They were playing Pac-Man. Everybody knows Pac-Man. There's Miss Pac-Man, Baby Pac-Man, there's Pac-Man inside the movie with Ryan Reynolds, whatever that movie was again. A big old Pac-Man's in there. There's a Pac-Man in the movie with Adam Sandler or whatever the Pac-Man, because Pac-Man's iconic. It's iconic. The big yellow eating man eating balls. You can't miss it. Everybody knows it. It's the same like Pikachu. You see Pikachu, you know it's Pokemon. You see Pac-Man, you know it's Pac-Man. It's popular, it's everywhere, and it's never going away because there's always Pac-Man on digital storefronts today. I'm sure of it. And any arcade you walk in today, it's there. It's right there. Pac-Man.
All right. Right on time. Perfect timing. And Phil, that was a very strong argument. I mean, to get Pac-Man and Super Mario back to back is crazy. But yeah, Phil, Galaga, you got a minute. Get started.
It feels like Galaga isn't the equal here to Pac-Man. I don't know what it would be, but you brought up Pixels, but Galaga was also in Pixels, I guess. So Adam Sandler liked that as well. I will say Galaga is one of those games that always finds itself in other games. Like I think there was a Call of Duty where you could play like Galaga on the arcade while you were waiting for a game to load up. There are some other examples that I can't think of right now, but the simplicity of Galaga is always also going to be very, very popular. And, you know, even though it may not have the mass appeal of a Pac-Man, people can get into Galaga, move a little spaceship back and forth and shoot at aliens. You know, it's always going to be a fun and simple time. Pac-Man, you got to overthink. Where are the ghosts at? Where are the little balls so they can turn into purple ghosts? Nah, Galaga, you just shoot forward and shoot aliens out of the sky and you're good. Galaga, yeah.
All right, Phil, I'm going to be honest with you.
I didn't even believe that.
You didn't really believe that. You started off by saying, I don't even think Galaga should be in the conversation. So you pretty much undid it.
I feel like something else would have been the equal to Pac-Man here
Galaga,
in the arcade.
They mentioned Galaga in the Avengers. I mean, that's pretty...
That man is playing Galaga.
That's true.
We didn't think we saw him, but we did. Yeah, no, going to give this one to Gafiltha. I will say, Phil, the alternative...
Tetris.
I thought about Tetris. The alternative was, instead of it being an arcade game, I was just going to say game in general, like classic game. And I was going to pick the dinosaur game. And I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
Rampage?
No, it's the game when your browser doesn't have internet.
Rage?
Oh
my
you
God.
Just click.
And you just click. I was going to pick that, but then I was like,
You could have gone Rampage. You could have gone, what's
Mortal
the
Kombat?
Donkey Kong? Yeah, I guess, but
yeah. All right, round 4.
This did not feel fair.
Gafiltha, great job. You're at 5. Phil, you're still at 1. Which gaming opinion is stronger? The Wii didn't deserve the hate it got. The Kinect didn't get enough hate. The winner of the last round gets to decide what they're going to argue for. So, Gafiltha, this round is worth 4 points. Do you want to argue that the Wii didn't deserve the hate it got, or that the Kinect didn't get enough hate?
That's difficult, right? That's mighty difficult. The Kinect didn't get enough hate. We're gonna go with the we didn't deserve the hate it got.
Okay. All right, Phil, that means you've got the Kinect. Gafiltha, you have 60 seconds to tell us, why did the Wii not deserve the hate that it got, starting now?
Listen, I was working at this beautiful place called Circuit City. If some people don't know, it was the Best Buy competitor. And every day people came in asking, do you have the Wii? Do you have the Wii? Do you have the Wii? Where's the Wii? I want the Wii. And I was like, this Wii must be insane. When I got my hands on the Wii, I said, Wii, because this thing is just awesome. The way you can play, have fun, play tennis, play boxing. And now to even this day, the little console is still pretty solid. There were some great titles released on the Wii. The motion stuff is found in arcades to this day. You'll go to a nice little arcades. They all got the Wii. You know why? Because it's still a good homey console that you can give the joysticks, Joy-Cons to grandma, and she can feel like she's boxing or she's having fun. So it didn't deserve all the hate. It was a nice homey console. The Wii U is a different story, but the Wii was a wonderful little title.
All right. Strong arguments from Gafiltha. Phil, 60 seconds to tell me why the Kinect didn't get enough hate, starting now.
Well, not to mention that the Wii is the 7th highest selling console of all time, so I don't know about the hate, but the Kinect didn't get enough hate because it set Microsoft and Xbox back to pretty much where we are now, because they wanted to compete with the Wii for some reason and to compete with the PlayStation, whatever their movement controls were. But the Kinect, as far as it was just such a half-baked piece of equipment, and yeah, we got our fun out of it when it comes to Dance Central and like Kinect Sports, but after that, I mean, for every one of those, you have 5, 10, 15, 20 Kinect titles that were just absolute garbage. The Star Wars one, the fighting game, it was just a disaster of a console, and it's unfortunate. I just mentioned this recently, that Kinect Adventures is the #1 selling Xbox 360 game of all time because it was bundled with the Kinect. After a while at GameStop, Eric, you know, when I was working there, we had these piled up in the back, and again, I think we just talked about the demise of Xbox, and I think a lot of it started right there with the Kinect. It took the game that we love, and that's why we are where we are now, because of the Kinect.
All right. Well, that was a very strong comeback, and this is the closest one so far. I am going to give a slight edge to Phil. He made some real strong arguments there. God, I hate the Kinect so much. All right. Well, this is for all the marbles.
Man.
So it's worth 5 points, but that doesn't really matter. It could be worth 1 point. This will decide the winner. Which gamers are more toxic?
What is this?
PC only or console only gamers, and the person whose name does not start with a P gets to choose this round. I believe Gafiltha.
Let me check my ID.
Yeah, double check. I believe Gafiltha is with a G, so we are gonna go. Gafiltha, you get the choice here. Do you want to vote that PC only gamers are more toxic, or console only gamers are more toxic?
You know what? I'm going to have to go with PC only. Final answer.
Okay, so Gafiltha is going to argue that PC only gamers are more toxic than console only. Phil, you'll do the reverse. So Gafiltha, tell us why in 60 seconds why PC gamers are more toxic than console players. Starting now.
Have y'all logged into a League of Legends match? That's it, right? That's it. I could end it right there. But no, seriously. You look at World of Warcraft, go play League of Legends, go play any Riot game, any Blizzard game, you're going to find people that are just going to trash you and just bash you because you're just in the game trying to play. They don't care whether you're new. They don't care whether your thing shows rank 1, your thing shows, beginner. You're in beginner lobbies. Doesn't matter. They're going to go in there. They got this nice little thing called a keyboard. They're going to be able to just spam in everything they can. Even PC Overwatch, PC, any Battle Royale modern game. They're going to just destroy you on their keyboard and try to flag you. They're going to find your IP. They're going to try to hunt you down just because you picked the character that you had no idea they liked. And they're going to try to be toxic about it. Hands down, PC are the more toxic gamers, for sure.
Okay, right on time. So there we go. Phil, you're going to go ahead here and give your argument for console only, why they are more toxic than PC gamers. Your time starts now.
All great points by my cohort here, Gafiltha. I will say, it's a tough argument when it comes to like Blizzard and Riot Games and all that stuff. But you know what type of gamers thrive on console? Sports gamers. And sports gamers are ruining the whole atmosphere and the just monetary decline of gaming. When you look at 2K, when you look at Madden, when you look at Ultimate Team, all this shit that is just all these microtransactions, it all comes down to Ultimate Team and my park or my career, whatever the fuck it's called on 2K. I don't care. They're the worst. They're the worst type of content creator as well when it comes to sports gamers. So while the Madden PC community is great, they're modding the crap out of the game and making it better, the console sports community is an absolute disaster. And again, I think they are responsible for why microtransactions right now are just an absolute disarray. And that's why I would say console gamers are just a tad bit more toxic.
Okay, all right. Two very passionate arguments. There can only be one winner. I am going to give this one to Gafiltha. Gafiltha, congratulations. You did a great job. Great job. Phil, great argument. Great argument. But I think that Gafiltha had it from League of Legends. That was a great example.
Yeah, that was tough. That was
We could
tough.
have just mic dropped right there.
Yeah.
I did feel good about the sports argument though, because it's true. Sports content creators they're the ones buying up the Madden Ultimate Team cards and the 2K money, and it's a disaster.
Yeah.
They're paying $100 for the Ultimate Edition just to play it 2 days early. Dude. Like, what?
Yeah. They, I think for NBA 2K, and I only know this because like some of my friends play this, I think in the last 2K game, in order to fully like max your character to like a 99 overall in whatever the online mode is, you have to spend something like the equivalent of like $150, $200 on VC, on the virtual currency, just to be competitive in 2K online, which is insane. So
when you did bring up the microtransactions, it made me think the reason we have the term now whales is probably because of the PC toxic people that just threw money at Blizzard saying, take these money for these skins and take money for skins, and then it's kind of where we ended up now. It's like, oh, I could have stolen that. It's like,
right. Are there any microtransactions in Marvel Rivals? I assume probably not in the beta, right? So
I didn't see any, and if so, I feel like it'd be Overwatchy. It'd be very like you just buy certain cool skins
and stuff. Yeah, I mean, and that's another endless.
Yeah, but as long as there's a way to kind of earn a different currency in game, I'm all for that. So.
Yep.
There we go. Well, this was a ton of fun, Gafiltha. Thank you so much for coming on and just really shooting the shit with us and getting to talk about everything that we've missed out on since the last time we've chatted. Definitely won't be the last time we connect, but I want to make sure that in case our audience misses the next episode you're on, they catch you here and hear about everywhere they can find you. So this is your opportunity to plug Filthy Raine streaming on Twitch, everything under the sun. This episode will be released on the 28th of August. So what you got going on and where can our audience find you?
Oh, man. So Gafiltha.com. This is Gafiltha.com, and that will take you to boom, everything you need to go to from there, from my YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, whatever you guys use to go and watching and gorge in your contents that I try to feed you all. Filthy Raine, though, is on all your listening platforms, Filthy, and then Raine. So you just add the little E at the end. And Filthy Raine is our gaming podcast. We'll bring you that bi-weekly news. Please send us anything that you guys think we should talk about, because our, the way algorithms are, folks. So we're only getting a certain kind of curated media. I get a lot of cool Halo news and such, but I might not ever see that Galaga's got a new remaster coming out or something like that. But if you think that's something interesting, send it our way, because we'd love to dive into it. Raine, my partner, she does an incredible job at like breaking down the full like history and like dissecting, digging into like forums and groups to really pull out that info, so we can bring everybody the most close info that we can, as deep as we can dive in, without being at the HR department, and also getting things as close as we can, because I'll get tweets as we're recording and I'm like, hot news right now, we just got this guy posted this. So Filthy Raine is where you can get into that gaming podcast, and we really appreciate all the gamers listening to it and giving us some of the gaming news. And then Gafiltha on Twitch, on Twitter, on YouTube, wherever you want. If you guys want to listen to little old me dance and act a fool on a camera, then by all means join me in the space station, where I can take you for next level entertainment experience. And it's just fun, I love to see more folks, and in turn, if you're coming out here to me, be sure to turn right back around, go back to the Wait For It, and be sure to wait for their next episode, because man, these guys right here, these two, ladies and gentlemen, they have come so far, and they're still going, and it's just beautiful, and it's wonderful, and these games were kick ass. I did not expect these games, and it makes me be like, can I be on the next one and the next one? Or I'll just sit in on their episodes, on their next creator one, and I'll just be in. They're like, who's that? Oh, that's just a fly on the wall. Don't worry, Gafiltha just likes being in here watching them live.
Well, Gafiltha, we're definitely going to get you back in here for a What Did I Miss in the future, so we can have some more fun, play some more games. Right, definitely. Well, Eric has actually won the last 2 games of Jeopardy, so I need to alter how that works, because Eric's been getting a few too many wins here. Again, he just had me lose a bajillion to 3, so I'm going to remember that come the end of the month. So that's going to turn around and come back at him. But Gafiltha, buddy, please also do not sell yourself short, because when you said an industry word earlier in pod fading, and how many of the people that we ran into in early 2020, pre-pandemic, right before the world shut down, that we met at Podfest that are probably no longer doing this. And whether it's content creation or podcasting, it takes a very special person and a very innovative and driven person to continue doing this, and you are doing a great job. So we thank you so much for joining us here today. Everything that he mentioned, as far as all of his links, will be in the show notes of this episode. You'll find also everything you need as far as the Wait For It podcast. So support both shows, support the Twitch channels. Make sure that you head on over to your favorite podcasting app. 5 stars helps immensely. You mentioned the word algorithm. All that stuff is so important when it comes to the life cycle and health of a podcast. You can also find social media pages for us. The most important being to keep up with our Instagram, TikTok, our growing Discord page, YouTube, as well as Twitch, as we have talked about all throughout this episode. If you want to support the show, you can do a couple of things. I already mentioned the leaving the reviews over on like places like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, things of that nature. You can also go to YouTube, thumbs up, notifications, subscribe, all of that stuff is very, very helpful. But if you find yourself wanting to join a very special community and get some behind the scene looks of how all of this comes together, Eric will let you know how you can do all of that.
Yeah, so of course we got a lot of the free options, social media, Discord, a lot of great options you can join in. But if you want to do a little bit extra, you could go directly through our Buzzsprout page, or you could take those funds and move them to Patreon, where in return for those funds, you can get exclusive behind the scenes access and early access to episodes like this one. Shout out to our patrons, Stefan, Breyer, Corey, T3 Kato for supporting us on that platform. We want to do a lot more stuff there. We are starting to do that with more patrons joining us, and we truly appreciate the support. But like Phil mentioned, like Gafiltha mentioned, the engagement, the likes, the comments, the shares, the listens, all the above, all of it helps. So definitely appreciate your part in that. With that all being said, my name is Mr. Eric Almighty. That is my co-host, Phil the Filipino, and our guest, Gafiltha. And please don't forget, on the Wait For It podcast, we release new episodes every Wednesday with bonus content on platforms like Twitch and TikTok. And all you got to do is wait for it.
So, I heard you're looking for a go-to source for entertainment.
Wait for it.
Gaming?
Wait for it.
Anime?
Plus Ultra!
Mr. Eric Almighty and Phil the Filipino? Yeah, they've got you covered. And all you gotta do is wait for it. This is the Wait For It podcast.